So, we just got done with our first Good Friday service ever. Now, I thought it was going to be a temporary service. Turns out I was wrong, but it was still good either way. So, if anybody would like to go first, I will pass the phone to you, and y'all can share y'all's experience of how a Catholic Good Friday service was.
You know, Jackson, how about for the first time, you go first?
Okay.
You got that.
So, my first time at a Catholic Good Friday service. I liked it a lot. You know, something I've been very surprised about Catholicism lately that I've experienced is that it's very familiar to me. Even though I never grew up Catholic or anything, I've grown up evangelical Baptist all my life. I don't know, it doesn't feel that foreign to me if I'm being completely honest. Like, it doesn't really feel like I'm like a foreigner in any way. And maybe that's because it's a welcoming community. That could certainly be an aspect of it. But what is this weirdo heretic doing?
Keep it going. So you call me a heretic? You're a heretic. You're a freaking heretic. You're all heretics. Everybody watching this video is a heretic.
He must be out of his mind.
Unless you're Roman Catholic.
But anyways, I liked it a lot. I will say the scripture reading was pretty long, which helped me practice patience. Because halfway through of the scripture reading, I was like, oh, this is kind of long. When is it going to end? But then I remembered in my mind, hey, patience is a virtue that as Christians need to practice. And so I was able to exercise that. And we did the adoration of the cross, where you went up and you kissed the cross. That did feel foreign to me. Something that I'd never experienced before. But I did appreciate it. And I feel like these guys did too. Something that I really liked, this is my final thought for the service, was that at the end of it, we repeated this prayer over and over again. And it was the prayer, or it was what St. Demas said on the cross next to Jesus. He said, Lord, remember me when you enter your kingdom. And we repeated that over and over again. And it kind of felt like I was a sinner trying to talk to God and tell him, hey, remember me, God. Which is obviously what it's saying, but y'all get what I mean. It felt like, it was a good act of submission before God. And I loved it a lot. So those were my thoughts. And I'll pass the phone to Harry.
What's up, guys? So, that was my first time ever experiencing a Catholic liturgy myself. So let's start from the beginning. We were barely late. We were barely early because we got there like a minute after 6, and it's supposed to start at 6. So we got in there right as it was starting. And as I was walking in, before I walked in, I was feeling nervous. You know, I've never been in a Catholic church. I've never experienced something like this. Of course, I've been in the Anglican church before, and oddly enough, I was expecting it to feel similar to that, but it was very different. So I walked in, and it was a very huge, are they called sanctuaries for the Catholic Church? Like, yeah, sanctuaries. And it was pretty big, and I felt pretty comfortable in there. I was expecting to feel like a fish out of water, but I walked in there, and I felt like I was supposed to be there. So then the service started. It was nice. You know, it's of course different than the Protestant church I'm used to, but it still felt like, I was at home. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to feel, I was expecting to pray to saints and stuff. I was expecting to, So I thought it was going to be like praying to saints, doing stuff I wasn't used to, but it still felt like the Protestant church. We sang hymns. We listened to a homily, which is a sermon, and I really couldn't hear it well. But from what I did hear, it was about us having to pick up our cross. And me personally, that's a really good message. So I liked the homily. They had a reading, which was, like Jackson said, very long. It was the very long reading. We had to stand there, and I was getting impatient. And I was impatient about it. But then after that, we went and adored the cross. And that's, like Jackson said, the one time I felt like a fish out of water. I walked up there and it just felt weird. Afterwards, I felt like I was getting nervous for nothing, but I don't know. Then we did the communion, and I didn't take it because I'm not Catholic, so I did the thing with my chest. That's the first time I ever had a priest bless me, which was pretty cool. Felt pretty good. But final thoughts. I still won't become Catholic. I don't plan on it. I don't find enough evidence yet, but I do now have a better appreciation for the church than I did before. And me personally, I think I might come back for another mass. So now it is Jacob's turn.
Okay, you heard it from the heretics. Now you got me, and leave it to old Jacob to make it personal. But basically, this was, although I've been to a few Catholic masses now, I've never seen something like this. It was an hour and a half. The ones I've gone to were usually an hour, I think. I might be wrong about that, actually. But basically, sorry, Jackson and I were fighting. I beat him, obviously. But, so yeah, I mean,
It's a sin to lie, Jacob.
yeah, you should listen to that, Jackson. Anyways, I wasn't expecting some of the stuff there. Like, I'd never heard of kissing the cross, so that caught me by surprise. But I was a pro at other stuff, like receiving communion. Not receiving it. None of us are officially Catholic yet.
Whoa. Slow your roll, man.
Don't say yet.
I'm not officially Catholic yet.
Don't say yet.
Okay, bro. Jackson's gonna be Catholic too, or at least Orthodox, which I'll learn to accept that. But he's agreeing right now. Anyways, I've had experience with when they go receive the Eucharist, you walk up and have your arms crossed and get the blessing of Christ. I made sure these guys knew what they were doing for that, and yeah, I guess my journey to Catholicism was very personal to get me to open my mind to it. And it's been, since then, since I've opened my mind to it, it's been a lot of studying theology and stuff, that the less personal side of it. But today it felt personal again. The reminder to carry your cross, and that even though suffering is a bad thing, suffering in the name of salvation is beautiful and it's something to be adored. And so, yeah, that's really the big lesson I got from today, and it helped me come more to terms with the conditions that brought me to Catholicism. It's reminded me that, as Jackson always says, it's the crucifixion before the resurrection.
All right, so lots of interesting perspectives. I'm glad I was able to come and experience my very first Catholic Good Friday service. I don't have anything else to say, so we love you guys, and until next time, God bless.